Today we're talking about time lapses. I've probably done well over 1,000 time lapses. They are the most fun thing to do. Setting up my moving time lapse here. Got to do a hyperlapse. It's gonna be sweet. My progression in time lapses has come a long ways. At the beginning, they were very basic and they've progressed quite a lot. And now I do a lot of fancy time lapse techniques, but I want to share with you kind of a progression that anybody could take from very beginning to more advanced. Number one, let's just get this out of the way from the very beginning. You can just speed up normal video. Now I used to do this back in the day in about 2000. I would shoot on mini DV tapes, I would point it at a bunch of clouds, I would hit record, I would let it go for about 15 minutes, and then later I would just speed it up in my editing program. The second thing that you can do, which is just a step beyond that, is to do what's called a time-lapse video. So say your GoPro or your phone or even a mirrorless camera like the one I have behind me here, in the settings you can go to this function that says time-lapse video, and then you hit that, let it run for however long your time-lapse is going for, and it gives you a video. And this is handy because it's very easy. You don't have a bunch of images to deal with. It gives you a exported image, fully time-lapsed. That in fact is what I'm doing right here with the North Carolina Zoo, which, by the way, you can see all of that on Untamed Science, my other channel. One step above that is to take a series of raw images, and that's where you might use something like this, an intervalometer, which will take a series of photographs in RAW that you can post-process later. The benefit of that is you can take it into your editing program, you can pull down the highlights, up the shadows, it gives you a lot more detail in your images, and it just makes them look cool. Now the only problem I have taking thousands of photographs is it can be quite time intensive, mostly in post-production, to deal with them, but the results are amazing. And one step above that is to get it moving. You can do it with a simple pan, like I do with this syrup unit, or maybe it's moving in a circle. And maybe a step above that is a 3-axis time lapse where you're gonna be panning this way and you're moving up and this way all at the same time. I think the results are stunning, but it does take quite a while to set something like that up. Then one step further is a hyperlapse. This looks like it's running along a dolly, but over quite a long distance. And the way you accomplish this is one step at a time with a tripod, slowly moving in one direction. Then you take it into After Effects, you put warp stabilizer on it, and it looks fantastic. Now while saying that, you can, with the new GoPro Hero 7, use hyperlapse functions just as you're walking with the camera. It's a neat little technique that you can do in camera. Or you could do a long-term time lapse. That might be a pregnancy, flower opening up, butterfly coming out of its chrysalis, or, like I'm doing right here, a decomposing deer. And I'm just gonna say from standing here, it smells really bad. So you have to have a little forethought for that one. Now, if you do something like this, you're gonna have to hook up the camera to an extra battery source. You're gonna have to control the light a little bit, consistency in lighting. And I'm gonna share tips and tricks on all of these over the summer. I'm not sure which one you wanna see first though. Please let me know down in the description. I'll try to get to that one first. By the way, if you wanna see this deer time lapse, it is incredibly epic, by the way, go right here. Also, a big thanks to all of the patrons who are helping support this incredible outreach. And yeah, it is so smelly right now. Check that link. All right, we'll see you in the next video.